Hi, I'm Malcolm from Makerswap. Today what we're going to do is we're going to mount this propeller onto an inside wall. We're going to be using one of these because it's designed to carry a reasonable weight, and this thing's relatively hefty. You can see I've already fitted one on the back here. They're going to slot together like this. So next we're going to go through the tools and things we're going to use to mount this on the wall. I'll see you inside. The equipment that I've got together for this job, I've got some ear defenders. We're going to be making a fair amount of noise, so we don't want to damage our hearing. Got some safety goggles. Generally always a good idea whenever you're using a power tool or a hammer or anything like that. You get something in your eye, it's not going to be a happy day. The other things I've got is I've got a hammer, not a huge great big hammer, just a little one. I don't need anything massive. I'm going to be using this to put a center punch in so that my drill bit doesn't wander when I start drilling my holes. And also to tap the raw plugs in, which I'll show you in a minute. They'll generally want to fit pretty tight, so you'll want to be able to tap them in flush. I've got the drill bit that we're going to use. I said I would go into the drill bits in a little bit more detail. I will in a second, but this one is one that's specifically designed for masonry. I've got an impact driver, which I'm going to be using to put the screws in once the raw plugs are in the wall. I have a drill, which is going to be the main thing that we're going to need. This particular one is a combination, it's called a combination hammer drill. But the one we're going to be using today is this setting here. This is the hammer drill. This is specifically designed for drilling into concrete, bricks, masonry, that sort of stuff. And it means that the drill, aside from just spinning around, will also have a hammer action, which helps to break down the brick and break into it. The last piece of equipment I've got is a level, because I just want to make sure that my propeller isn't too bent when I put it up. So it's good to make sure that we've actually managed to hang it right. So those are all the tools I'm going to be using today. Most of them, the smaller hand tools, not so much, but the larger power tools, all of these are available on Makerswap. You can find people who are renting them out in your area and rent them out. The only other thing I was going to mention is what we're actually putting into the wall. Okay, so we're going to use a thing called a roll plug, which is what these are. Pull one off and show you how that works. So this is basically, it's a plastic collar that's going to go into the wall, into the hole that we're going to drill. And then when it's in there, it's going to be squeezed shut. And when we put the screw into it, it'll expand into the gap and basically wedge itself in there. So the screw is going to cause it to expand and wedge. Now, the actual roll plug thing come with all these useful little hole things, which will tell you what the minimum size of screw that they'll take is, which is this one, and what sort of the maximum size is. So that's quite a large screw. That's the drill bit. That's the drill size, which is the 7mm that we're using. So without further ado, we're going to go and line it all up. We're going to hold it in the right place, mark where we're going to put it in, and then do the drilling. So we're going to go and do that out there, which is where it's going to hang. I'll see you in a minute. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the hook on the back of the level. And you see it'll just line up in there. Then we're going to get the bubble in the right spot. And we're going to move it up to where the propeller is going to be mounted. So that way we can try and level off the hook before we put it up. So that looks about right. Just going to grab my pencil. Just mark the center of each of the holes. By the way, and you can see the bar. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to see from there, but I've got little pencil marks where the holes are going to go in. Now, this is what we're going to use the center punch and the hammer for, because what we don't want to have is when we start drilling for the drill to sort of wander, because then the hole ends up in the wrong spot. We can prevent that by giving the drill something to sit in when it starts, so it doesn't have anywhere to wander. This works really well in plaster or wood or anything like that you can get a decent indentation in. It's a little harder in things like concrete, stainless steel, that sort of thing where you have to really give it a whack. Obviously if I had a stainless steel wall, A, it would look weird and I'd have a much bigger hammer. So now we're going to drill the holes in to put the roll plugs in. Nice little trick that I'll show you is if you get the drill bit and you line the roll plug up against it, then you can put your thumb sort of where the end of the roll plug is, which is about there. Put the roll plug down. It's got a stock standard Sharpie here. I'm just going to put a line on that. Now, just going to mark that on the drill bit. So now you can see, when the drill bit's spinning, you can see that line, which means that when we drill into the wall, we know we just need to go as far as that line, and the roll plug will fit. It saves you having to guess when you're on the way in. So right now, I'm trying to get up there. It's going to be a bit tricky, I think, but check to make sure we're on the right thing, and I think that'll work. All right, so I'm just going to put the safety glasses in my earmuffs on, and let's make some noise. Alright, so as you can see, that's created an awful lot of dust. We'll go and get the vacuum to vacuum that up in a minute. But you'll see on this one here, I don't know if you can see it from back there, but on this one here, the drill's gone off a little bit, so this hole's not worked particularly well. You probably can't see it, but in there there's an existing red roll plug that was there before. Now this propeller actually came off this wall some time ago, and I think what we've done is we've managed to hit exactly one of the ones that was holding it up before. Now, with any luck, I'm thinking I should be able to get the screw in just below that, and it should still work, so we're going to try that instead. Alright, so now we're just going to seat the roll plugs into the holes. Obviously I can't do that one, but we'll just pop these in here. Like I said, you'll need a hammer to finish this off. Just have to touch that. That's the roll plugs set in the wall now. So now, when you do is line this up, pop screws in. You just put them in by hand to start off with. I'm only doing 3 on this one because the 4th one, that other roll plug got in the way. So I'll put these 3 in, and then I'll see where I am with the other one. Can use this just to drive them in because it's a bit of an awkward angle. Okay, that's that one in. There we go, and that's that. Nice and solid onto that wall. That's not coming off anytime soon. Don't think this is going to go in because the drill sort of skidded up to there on that one, so I'm just going to leave that one off. I don't think it's desperately necessary. And so now let's go and get the propeller and hang it and see how it looks. Alright, here's the propeller. Let's put it up. Make sure it's seated into the hook properly, which it is. And there we have it. Hanging a heavy thing on a brick wall. All of these, all these tools are available on MakerSwap. And I have to say, drilling into a brick wall, what a tool! What a tool!